If you want to learn how to scat sing, I do not blame you. It is so much fun. For a singer, it literally means hogging the entire song because you can sing the lyrics and then you can scat solo and then you can finish with the lyrics again. But we won't do that because that would really piss off the rest of the instrumentalists in the band. But it is a really good skill to use because it's more fun. It means you can embellish the melody a lot more easily when you are singing, regardless of whether you're using lyrics or you're scat singing. And you can solo and you can trade fours and join in with the rest of the band. It's a lot of fun. So where do you start? This is lesson 1 of my brand new How to Scat Sing series. And with all things jazz, the best way to start learning anything is by listening and copying. So where did scat singing come from? Well, back in the day, this guy, Louis Armstrong, was a trumpeter. And then he would start singing some of the lines that he would usually play on the trumpet. And he started doing it with nonsense syllables, ba, 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 do, ba, wa, whatever. And it caught on. So the essence of scat came from using your voice to sound like a horn. I would argue that today it's actually transformed into more than that. For example, I will sometimes use my scatting more like a flute or almost like the licks and the fills that a piano would play, because those are 2 instruments that I personally play, and so they're very much in my musical repertoire. But this is lesson 1 and we're going back to basics. So to get you started, we actually have a whole plethora of amazing horn players that we can listen to and copy. So we're going to start with a really easy one. This is Midnight Creeper by Lou Donaldson. And it's not really scatting a whole solo, but just to get you started, they play and then we copy. And it's literally kind of set up like that in the song. So it makes it really easy as a start point. Have a listen. Same. Yeah. So we're going to have a go at this. Are you ready? So first things first is we learn the melody. So ignore the scat syllables. We're just going to use a la because it's so easy. And then we can make sure we've got all the notes right first. So we're just going to go through this first section. Okay, so I'm going to play it and then we're going to la 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 through together. Are you ready? Here we go. La 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 la. It's the same. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Listen. All right, so, and if you, I'll list what these songs are down below. So if you want to, I'm just using on Spotify, right? So you can go and listen to this and have a practice. So now we're going to add some scat syllables in, right? And the idea is you're going to want to try and sound kind of like what the horns are sounding like. So those are the scat syllables that you would use. So what does it sound like? Ba-ba-da-bwee-bwee-ba-boo-bop. To me, that's what it sounds like. But it might sound different to you. Have a listen. La la la, lui, lui, la, lu, la. So, and what you'll find is that as you kind of go on this scat singing journey, the different syllables that you tend to kind of lean towards will just depend on what you listen to, and every kind of singer has a natural kind of vibe. I used to listen to a lot of Ella's scatting, of course, because she's like the queen. Her and Sarah Vaughan, amazeballs. But Ella uses quite a few E's when she's kind of doing some runs and stuff. So I ended up using a few E's as well in my scatting. So it just depends on what you listen to. It's kind of like a culmination of your own musical adventures. All right, so we're gonna scat through this with syllables. Doesn't matter what syllables it is, and you don't have to copy me. I'm just gonna go with you so we've got the melody, and then we'll do it one more time, and then I'm not gonna sing and you're gonna do it all by yourself. Alrighty, so this is together with the scat syllables. Here we go. Ba-ba-da-weep weep bop boop bop. Ba-ba-da-weep weep bop boop bop. Ba-ba-da-weep weep bop boop bop. Ba-ba-doop weep weep bop boop bop. With Lou. Ba-da-doo-doo-day. Doo-doo-day. Doop weep weep bop. Sweep bop ba-da-doo-doo-beep boop boop bop. And then feel free to add a little fill at the end. Yes. Okay, are we ready? We're going to do it. You're going to do it without me filling Lou in. Ready? Here we go. With Lou. Again. Together. Oh, so then they go off into a solo. So bonus points. This is actually a really good track to learn the additional actual solos from, because they're quite easy. This is just over a blues sort of progression, so it's very easy. Have a listen to some of the soloing. Let's have a listen to the first. I don't know who it is that's first playing, but let's have a listen to the solo, and then you can start copying them as well. Here we go, ready? This is the solo. Wow, I'm totally stuffing it up. It's quite a predictable solo almost, you know, so it's a really good one to have a go at. And you just listen and you copy, rewind, listen, copy. We're going to move on to something completely different now to start getting your ear around other ways of scatting. So now we're going to listen to So What by Miles Davis. So the reason I like this one is because before we had the saxophone, now we've got trumpet. And for me, the way that Miles phrases is so foreign to the way that I would phrase. So it gives me lots of cool ideas. So, and it's a completely different style. So have a listen. I'll tell you when it comes in. Okay, coming in, ready? This bit. Yeah, so you just like take a little bit and learn that. So I liked that little bit out of this huge solo that he's come up with. So we're going to have another listen to it, and then we're going to try. So we'll listen through one more time, and then we'll try and la 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 along with him to get the melody, and then we're going to try and scat and work out what kind of syllables we think we'd use. So let's have a listen. Another listen. Here we go. It seems impossible at the start, right? Like you're probably, but if you listen to things long, like enough, you'll get them. So I obviously listened to this a little bit before because I listened to this this album quite a bit. I'm so old school. Let's try this together, right? La la la. Sorry, I went into a scat straight away. Okay, this time we're going to just try la-ing along with him. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, even the way that he la 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 la, I would go la 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 la, but he goes la la. So it gives you cool ideas, right? All right, so now let's see if we can scat along. And I went, I'm using dee-dees instead of da-da. I kind of feel like it's more like, it's kind of more twinkly, right? So it changes the scat syllable. I will leave the exact section of this below with the link so you can go and practice as well. The other cool thing about the way that Miles plays is, if you notice, they're just small little phrases. So he doesn't go, he's not continuous, like blah, 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 without a break. It's space. Space. So you don't have to continuously scat. You can use this as well, and it actually sounds better when you just do little phrases and that's your solo. So your homework is to go and listen to these 2 tracks that I've given you and see if you can find some others to practice along to, depending on which horn players you enjoy listening to, and just listen to a part of the solo and copy it back. Listen and copy. So if you're part of my new school community for singing, then we'll be discussing that there in the comments. But if you're not, I'll leave a link below. Next week, we're going to be doing lesson 2 of my Scat Sing series, which is going to be a little bit more advanced than this week. So they're going to compile on week after week. So I hope to see you there, and thanks for spending the time with me today, and I'll talk to you soon.